Hi guys, how you going? Hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to draw Toon Link from Zelda. And thanks for the suggestion for that one. I hope you enjoy it and get a bit out of it. Let's draw. Let's start Toon Link with a shape for where his head's going to go. So I'm putting a circle here. Remember, all drawings are built up into shapes. And then his elf looking sort of hat goes there. His hair. It's going to come around like this. Cool drawing of, cool picture of Link, Toon Link. And hey, thanks for the suggestion. And then they've got the elf ear there. So I'm just mapping on his face first, because to try and draw this in pen would be pretty tricky. And where there's his nose and then his mouth there. So got it all mapped, his head mapped on. Now, his arm is coming out here. And he's got his sword on an angle. So look at the angles and look at how things compare. And really map on what you're drawing. That's where the blades and bits are, and it comes back into there like so. Now his body comes around. He's sort of twisted a fair bit. So this is the back of him. This is his front. This is where his belt is going to go. Notice I'm sketching, being fairly sketchy with my pencil, nice and light. Now this leg sort of comes in there. So there's his body. That's his knee, and then his boot goes back on an angle. It's called foreshortening, when some things are bigger and they're closer to us, and when they're not. So now his leg comes out there, and then he's got his boot. You see the bottom of his boot, and then he's got his sword holder on his back. Bring that around. Now his arm is not very long because it's going back, and he's holding a shield. Kind of tricky to draw, but we'll get there. Now because he's detailed, let's draw Link with a 0.3. Now I'm going to start with his eye, get his eye looking good. So he's got an eyelid, like so. He's got a fairly big eyeball. That's all black too, which I might colour in later. And then he's got an under eye line there like that. Now his eyebrow comes around like this, which makes him look a bit angry. It's obviously going to defeat someone. This is one part of his hair coming through here that goes right back to his hat. Bring his hat line around to where his ear's going to be. Let's draw his ear on. Top part of the ear. Inside of the ear. Now his hair actually comes down and around like this. It's about there on his, and that goes in and then back around like that. Almost like a sideburn. Now his nose is sort of like that, and then he's got his mouth sort of kicks in like that. There's his mouth. His other eyebrow is coming into that point there. There's his eye. Colour that in. Bring that one down, and then he's got his hair coming across here. Like that. This one comes up. Like so. I'm just going to colour this eye in. I reckon that's going to look better. When I colour that in, yeah, that looks better already, doesn't it? Okay, head coming down. Curves around. It's got a bit of a chin, and then it comes back like that. Now you see
a little bit more hair coming out here. And then he's got a band on his head, a hat that comes around like that. Now there is a little bit of a gap there, comes around. There's his hat. Now let's put his shirt on. So just underneath here he's got this part on his shirt. And then his arm bumps with some folds and then comes around like that. He's got his weapon that sort of comes, sword, pokes into a triangle there. Let's bring his arm. He's got his shirt coming, a few folds on his top of his shirt like that. He's got this line coming down into his belt, which is, and then this is, I'm going to draw as a circle with another circle. That's that part there. It's quite tricky, and then he's got a side bit on there. Now his belt comes around, and there's two lines, three sections. And then his shirt just sort of folds in like that. Now let's draw this part, comes up and around, bumps up, flares out at the back. And this all comes in underneath the belt there. This line comes through. That line there follows through. This is his front leg. His back leg that goes back, and obviously some folds in his pants. Now he's got the top part of his boot. His boot kicks back and around. There's his boot. Now this one, you actually see a little bit of the inside of that leg there. Let's bring that out to sort of like a kneecap. Bring a line around for the top of his boot. Comes around, and this is quite tricky because it's sort of like the front edge of his boot and the base. Then he's got this line that's through there. Okay, now let's get his weapon drawn on. It's pretty tricky because there's so many sides and bits to his weapon, so I'll do my best to help you guys out. It's like the side of the sword. He's got this part that comes down and around, like a little emerald or something inside there. A little bit coming off here, and then this comes out into his triangular piece like that. So it's trying to do the same on both sides there. This comes through. You see a bit of it juts out, comes back in, and then this middle of the sword. Then he's got this part of the sword. Bring that back up into there. And then he's got this other bit that comes on the back of it. And then he's got his hand in there. And then and that's out the back is this part here that looks like that. Very tricky, that part. Good luck with that. Now we've got this top part of his sword holder. I'm guessing that's what it is. And then it comes down, down, and forms a shape like this. Now there's so much detail on there. Probably not going to do all that detail. It'd be just kind of tricky. But I can do a little bit of it to show how it would look. It's all yellow down to about there. put more of this detail and pattern work on when we colour it in. Now his back comes down like that. Now he's got his arm, elbow, sleeve. Now he's got his hand. Now he's holding the shield with some straps. And then he's got his finger. Let's put a finger underneath there, a couple of fingers. So he's got his hand underneath there, and that sort of hits onto the shield. Then he's got the shield line through there, the back of the shield with some bracing on it. This is looks like a metal outer edge with a wooden shield part. So let's draw this metal outer edge. Now let's draw the wooden pieces through the middle of this shield. And then there's this another metal bit up behind here.